some long dead race apparently. What do you mean by behavioral reconfiguration?
I have been programmed with a very limited field of knowledge, and I must restrict access to only those that fit my allowed pattern.
And I don't fit that pattern?
I can't say. I will try to bring forward the behavior that you need to proceed, as outlined by my programming.
It seems very helpful. Why have I been allowed access?
I can't say. Preliminary matching allows for you to be coached.
Do you not know why, or are you restricted from saying?
I can't say. Likelihood of restriction by previous user, 100%.
So Malak and Ratham. Huh. The interesting thing is that... Goofuth doesn't seem to be allowed access to the thing in a generic way, because Bindo wasn't allowed. So not just everybody can waltz in here and get access, so the restriction that's been posed by Malak and Ratham for some reason doesn't apply to Goofuth. There are some questions about, what limitations have been placed in your program?
Corruption has resulted in gaps appearing in my memory, and in that of the original installation. It could be theorized that these gaps are intentional, but I have no information on that.
What gaps are missing?
Error, I cannot present a non-presence. Perhaps you can ask other questions, and data corruption will become evident.
He makes a very valid philosophical, ontological actually point about that. Can't present the nothing. I want to ask questions about you in this installation.
I utilize a retro-adapted holocron interface. Clarify your questions, and I will attempt to access original system memory.
Yeah, that's two questions. Who built him and who installed the interface? Oh, and an analogy to that, what's the original function, what's the current function? Actually go for this, since he seems to be so special by some way. He seems to be more, he's probably more interested in the current function of this installation.
The current purpose of this installation is defense.
Defense of what?
Error, that information is not available.
Let's go back to a previous question.
Accessing.
What was the original function of this?
Error, corruption. Extrapolating. This utility was built to monitor planet-wide agricultural reformation. It has since malfunctioned. It can be theorized that the supergrowth of Kashyk's forests is a direct result.
Well, that is surprising. I doubt any Wookiee would support such a claim. The forest is millennia old.
Malfunction occurred 241 years after last builder communication. Last builder communication, 29,642 years before current Republic standard.
He doesn't care if it predates the Republic, but that is a long time. This thing was originally nothing mystical or military, it was just an agricultural tool. Why was that needed?
Agricultural record indicates this planet was incapable of sustaining sufficient levels of production. Error. Specific conditions corrupted. It can be theorized that produce was being exported to support a larger demand.
That's true.
Error. Records corrupted. It can be theorized that bioseeding allowed the ecology to remain balanced. It could be expected that the same energy feeding the trees of Kashyk also accelerated the evolution of various species. No further information is available. There is too much corrupted data.
Let's go back.
Accessing.
Okay, the other two questions. Who installed the interface?
This interface was installed to better access the ancient data stored within the pre-existing system. The exact date is unavailable. Programming keys indicate no earlier than 5 years before current Republic standard.
5 years ago. I didn't notice it. This must have been installed in strictest secrecy. Couldn't have been circa.
No other information on time of installation or identity of user available. Likelihood of removal by user, 100%.
By the way, I'm not asking this question in a random order. Goofuth would be a lot more interested in the specifics because they concern him more, and then work his way back to the general things. And the user, probably Revan and Malak, as it seems, if it's not more than 5 years ago, removed any trace of their own identity of having been here. Yeah, that's a stupid question because... Oh no, it's not, because that's not necessarily... That's about the right time Revan passed by.
Error. Data regarding subject Revan corrupted.
See, that's interesting. That's the way to get to the gaps in the information. You can't tell about it because there's nothing there. But there is a nothing under the topic Revan. If you get where I'm meaning. It's much like the difference between something you don't know and something you know you don't know. For example, I have... Oh. No, it's a bad thing, for example. Oh, for example. I know that I don't know what 57.5 times 518 would be. I don't know that. But I know that I don't know that. I know it's there. The result of that. There's a lot of things I don't know and that I don't know that I don't know. Which necessarily I can't even talk about because I don't know that I don't know them. But that's really going off on a tangent. There was an entry. Yeah, exactly. There was an entry at some time.
Error. Data on Revan unavailable.
Who last accessed this installation?
Sorting by identity. 3 attempts by the Wookiee Freyer, all denied. 152 attempts by human Jolie Bindo, all denied.
Totally stubborn, I guess. There wasn't much else to do around here.
Error. List of access attempts prior to these is corrupted. Likelihood of removal by user, 100%.
At least the Wookiee gave up after he knew he wouldn't get to it. 150 times, holy cow. Any further contact with the installer? He's not going to tell me that, but on the off chance.
That information is unavailable, but contact is not required for the execution of my programming. Scanning range of this facility is well beyond planetary boundaries.
That's interesting, so they might actually be watching us right now.
Accessing.
And who built the installation in the first place?
Error. Corruption. Extrapolating. This utility was built to monitor planet-wide agricultural... It has since malfunctioned.
Okay, yes.
Well, that is a...
Malfunction. Accessing.
Yeah.
Answer will be given.
What do you know about the star map here? Well, we know that it's right there, but still.
Accessing. Yes, I have found a star map in original system memory. Access is restricted.
So the map is as old as the installation? He's actually more interested in what he needs to do to access it.
Your request requires additional security access. You must be made to match the parameters I have been supplied.
How can I match them when I don't know what they are?
There are measures available. Personality profiling will verify the basic structure of your conscious mind. With that, I will determine whether you are ready to receive the star map or can be made ready.
What do you mean by that?
Information unavailable. If you have further questions, ask them now. Access will terminate with success or failure of evaluation.
Okay.
Answer will be... Access.
Yeah. He wanted to ask that. If the map's as old as the installation.
Error. Data regarding author of the star map is corrupted. Your request requires...
What if I fail?
Then you are not worthy of further access. You will be rejected as unsuitable.
What will rejection mean?
Information unavailable. If you have further questions, ask them now. Access will terminate with success or failure of evaluation.
Might as well get it over with. Goofuth is very convinced that he matches everything that needs to be matched anyway.
Evaluation commencing. Result will be compared against the pattern in memory. Just act like you should. You travel with a Wookiee and have encountered complications. Hypothetical. You and this Zalbar are captured and separated. If you both remain silent, 1 year in prison for each of you. However, call Zalbar a traitor, and he will serve 5 years, while you serve none. He is offered the same deal. But if you both accuse the other, you both serve 2 years. What do you do? What do you trust him to do?
The interesting thing is, this reminds me a lot of the riddle posed to you. No, not the riddle, the question posed to you by the genie at the very beginning of Baldur's Gate 2. Slightly different, but basic concept. It's the same. Now, he of course would let Zalbar sit there. He's going to ask that, how did you know Zalbar's name? Although he suspects that that guy's actually accessing his mind right now.
I hear what happens on Kashyyyk, and a good deal beyond. Answer the question I have posed.
That doesn't sound like the installation anymore. That sounds like somebody's actually speaking. That sounds like... Before that, it was automated. It was just a program. Now it sounds like there's actually somebody speaking through that. He doesn't need to confer with anybody else. Yeah, and the fact is, he would let Zalbar fry if he had to, but he knows that Zalbar, with his life dead, he would say nothing. So he wouldn't either.
Are you sure? If you turn, you risk 2 years, or none at all. If you reply on loyalty, you risk 1 year, or 5. Your loyalty is dangerous. Your companion could take the opportunity to benefit by turning on you. Zalbar's family is mired in treachery. What loyalty do they know? Your answer is incorrect.
The choice is minor. The thing is, that really sounds like somebody's talking through the thing, which is actually kind of eerie. The thing is, I don't know what those answers are based on. I think it's probably if he's on the character talking to the program is light or dark side, so probably this is the wrong answer. No. He'd be loyal enough. Goofuth would be loyal enough to actually serve 1 year for Zalbar. Because he knows that Zalbar would keep quiet, he knows that. Yeah. And he doesn't like to have his choices taken away from him. Choice is minor, refuse to alter it.
You cannot refuse. Evaluation must continue. You must match the pattern in memory. Your memory. I must demand honest acceptance of the proper behavior. That is a condition of my programming.